When do you feel strong?
Never. Yeah, me too.
That's not true.
I never feel strong.
When do you feel strong?
Whenever we get support and afterwards,
When we can
solve the problem.
And after that we feel strong.
So Sita felt strong when she led was anchoring at winter camp. All right, yeah. When do you feel strong?
When you do some things in our class.
Is that when you feel strong?
with the neighbor.
No, when do you feel strong?
We have better education than others.
Okay, good. When you have a good education and you feel capable.
No other encourage us to do something.
When other people encourage you because they believe in you. When else do you feel strong? So we need to take a break from the outside. I feel like I'm losing people. Should we stand up? When do you feel strong?
When we get support during our failure.
Yeah, but that's general. I want name a moment when you felt strong. A moment when you felt very strong. Name a time when you felt strong. Sumi, you should be talking about when you were running in the race. You weren't thinking about, I don't feel strong. You felt strong. In that moment, you felt it. Yes, you had confidence, but you weren't thinking about it. You were just doing, and you felt this power. We all have had moments like that. Maybe they're fleeting. Okay, I'll share a couple moments when I was. Okay, so here, I'm in this boat. Okay, so most of the boats, this is when I was leading backpacking and canoeing trips, most boats have two people. You have to paddle on both sides or else the boat doesn't go straight. Having one person in a solo canoe is very hard. You have to be very skilled. It is not easy to do. I felt really strong going down to my solo canoe. It's technically challenging, and men don't think women can, typically women can't do this. They're not good at sports. They're not good at canoeing. I felt strong. Leading the trips. This is North Carolina. We call these mountains, but you would call them hills. We call them mountains. I felt strong. I felt powerful. I like that feeling. Yeah, we won. So this is a sport in the U.S. It's called rowing. It's a sport. You see at the bottom, there's this boat. What you do is actually it's only one oar, and you go like this, and you're rowing in the water. It is one of the hardest sports because it is a full body workout. You use your legs, your thighs, and your abs, and your back, and your arms, all in one motion. And some races are 25 minutes long. And it's the most terrible sport, actually. It's so painful. And we won. That's my team. So I'm on the... And see, these are some of, Marlu on the far right. She's one of my best friends. I felt strong rowing. Very strong. I look strong. I look strong. I felt strong. I don't always feel strong. What makes you feel beautiful? Your personality. What else?
तर फेसलाई हेर्छ नि साथी
What makes you feel beautiful? Your hair. Face. Smile. Okay. You know, beautiful people, when they don't have nice personalities, people come to see them as not as pretty. Do you all know someone like that? They're really pretty, but they're mean or they don't treat people well. And then you start seeing them differently. And maybe people who aren't as classically as beautiful, you can think they're so beautiful because of they have this like glow and this light and this joy, and like they kind of draw other people in. And when you first met them, maybe you're like, oh, they're pretty, they're fine. But you come to think of them as beautiful. I just want you to know that your beauty is not just how you look. It's like how you carry yourself. But I also asked this question to kind of mess with you guys a little. Because I felt most beautiful when I had short hair. So I cut my hair. I cut it junior year of college. So my third year of college, I was like done with this. I felt so free. And I felt so beautiful having short hair. And actually so I cut my hair, and a semester later I came to Nepal. And it was like a kind of a terrible experience because everyone's like, oh, you're ugly, like you shouldn't have cut your hair. Like, don't come back to Nepal with like short hair. Like, it's terrible. Don't ever do that. Which actually, I don't think I want to cut my hair again, but I'm waiting to be back in the States because everyone won't appreciate it. But I thought it fit my face, and it gave me this power, and I still felt feminine. Like I'm here, I'm in a dress. Actually, I'm in a dress in both pictures, and I felt so beautiful. But it's not a typical form of beauty, right? We're taught long hair, certain things are beautiful. Do what makes you feel beautiful. Or not even beautiful. Strong, powerful, worthy, joyful. All of those things contribute to like your glow. This is me in college. Kind of look a little bit like a boy. But I felt beautiful and powerful. That's Davidson. Have you ever left something because you didn't feel like you fit in? Have you ever quit something you were good at because you didn't feel like you fit in? I have. Will anyone share?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. First you. First you.
First you.
Basketball.
You promise you'll share?
Basketball.
Okay, share, please.
Basketball.
You quit. Tell the story. Sumi quit basketball because she didn't feel like she fit in. You know, when I was younger, I loved soccer. Love soccer so much. Soccer, football. And we would go out in gym class, and I would play with the boys, and I would get in their face, and I was really rough. Like I would elbow them and like kick them, and at some point I stopped doing that. But I remember when I was young, like some of the girls would be picking flowers, and I don't want to run. But I really was like, I want to do this, I want to play. But at some point I stopped. Maybe they started like being like, oh, we don't pass the girls, or I felt like I couldn't keep up. I don't know, but at some point, I didn't feel like I fit in. Maybe they didn't feel like I fit in either. Wasn't worth it. When I was younger, oh yeah, I played with the boys. It was fun. But seriously, have you ever quit something because you didn't feel like you fit in? This doesn't have to be about gender. It could be about something else. Yeah, Shaloni.
Because I wanted to be air hostess.
Uh-huh.
And afterwards, I didn't write.
Good, yeah. That happens. Miss Nepal? Okay. But I'm going to share a serious example with you. And it's a big, actually this is one of the biggest regrets in my life. Okay. So these two images are kind of symbols for me. The one on the left, that's when I was here in Nepal as a student. And I'm doing research. I actually attended this kind of conference and I was researching women whose husbands worked abroad. So that's me on the right or left. And this is me being an anthropologist. So I was studying anthropology. This is me on the right. I'm in a business suit with all these men. And it's kind of studying business. So in school, I majored in anthropology and minored in economics. Anthropology is the study of, do you know what anthropology is? Anthro actually means human, and ology means the study of. It's the study of human beings, but culture, Sanskriti, Rahan Sahan. The study of human beings and what gives their life meaning, and the structures, like the ceremonies and rituals we have around death and birth and marriages and language, all of these things. In my anthropology classes, there were mostly women. I fit in. We cared about human beings and social justice issues. We cared about making the world more just. But I was also in economics classes. And guess who was in economics classes? All the boys. And guess what all the boys wanted to do? They all wanted to go into business and make a lot of money. The only problem was, I was also interested in economics because it explained the world. And it actually explained economics, the definition of economics is, it's the study of the division of resources. Why some people have a lot of resources, why some don't. How resources are divided. And to me, economics answered so many questions that anthropologists were asking about development, inequality, and why there are so many problems in the world. For me, it answered those questions, or helped to answer those questions, or provided tools to answer those questions. So I had different questions than the boys that were in my class, the young men who were in my class. I thought, and they were studying economics because they wanted to do something else. They wanted to go into business, make a lot of money. That wasn't my reason for being there. I should have majored in economics. I studied it, I minored in it. I should have majored in it. Why didn't I? I didn't feel like I fit in. The people I was with, they had different goals from me. It was mostly men. And I let that influence my decision. So the way I describe anthropology as my heart. As the reason that I even feel like I'm here. To give back. To do something. To make sense of the world. But economics provides me the tools. And you can't do anything, make any change without tools too. Sure, you need passion. But you also need tools. And I let feeling like I didn't fit in prevent me from getting some tools I needed. to be able to not be influenced by them so that I can follow my own path. Because if I'm influenced by them and saying I don't fit in, I won't be able to follow my own path. And carve it out. Because if I know where I'm going, I don't need other people to influence me and tell me I don't belong. So, next year, I want to go to business school. Again, who will be in my classes? Mostly men. And what will they want to do? Go into business and make a lot of money. I don't have that same goal, but I am more confident in why I'm going and what tools I will get in business school to get where I want to go. I want to start a social enterprise. I know that the tools I'll get there will be very helpful. I also know I won't fit in, and I'm comfortable with that. I wasn't comfortable with that before. The sooner you can get over not feeling comfortable, not feeling like you fit in, and get past that so that you can reach your goals, the sooner you will start making them happen. So, let's go back. Have you ever lost something you liked because you didn't fit in? I have. Is this depressing? Are you guys getting antsy? Are you enjoying it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Purnima?
Music class.
Guitar. Muskan loved basketball. She didn't feel like she fit in. Yeah, it happens. That's another. And we think we're not good at sports. Or boys do sports, girls don't do sports. Okay, I'll let you think of that. Maybe you all have your own example you don't want to share, but okay. What are challenges only women face? Yeah, we had periods. We had to give birth. That's terrible. You have to carry a baby for 9 months. Discrimination. What types of discrimination?
Boys, gender.
No, specific examples. What does that look like?
Less priority to the girls.
How? What less priority? Okay, boys are put in school more than girls. What else?
Boys get more opportunity.
Opportunities where? Job opportunities. No.
Girls have to be beautiful to be
What?
In Nepal, girl has to be beautiful
Yeah!
to get a job.
What? That's so dumb. I bet it happens in the US. They would never say that, but I bet it happens. Girls have to be beautiful to get a job.
They have to be good attitude.
We always have to have a certain attitude.
Like,
If we're difficult, we're called difficult, or something worse. So I brainstormed a couple. So, gender pay gap. So, okay, do you all know what the gender pay gap is? Men and women are paid. Women are paid less for the same work. But there are so if you look at just the numbers, women are paid a lot less for the same work. But when you take into account women take off They take off time for work to raise their family. They take maternity leave. They don't go into certain higher paying professions. The gender gap reduces, but it doesn't completely disappear. And any way you try to work the numbers, there are like economists who are trying to do the stats and figure it out. They can't get it to fully go away. And what that means is women's work is just valued less. So there are careers where men used to be the only people in the careers, and then women entered that field or took over the field. The pay for the entire field went down. If women can do the job, then the job is not as valuable. The work is not as valuable. When women are seen as doing the job, the work is seen as not as valuable. There are reasons for some pay discrepancies, and this is actually in the U.S. I mean, I'm sure it exists in Nepal too, but in the U.S. there's a gender pay gap, and you can't get it to go away. So the statistic that's given is women make 79 cents for every dollar a man makes. So man makes 100 rupees, women will make 79 rupees for every 100 rupees. Okay. There's something called the glass ceiling, where even when you have talented women and minorities, for some reason, women are not in top leadership positions. They're not CEOs, they're not presidents. I mean, there are exceptions, but you find way fewer women in leadership roles. Maybe there are equal numbers when they're starting, but over the course of the career, there are fewer women. And it's often described as the glass ceiling. Like, why can't women break through it? And even there was a lot of sexism in Hillary Clinton not being elected, actually. That a lot of people secretly thought, in the U.S. history, there has never been a woman president. We've had 45 presidents. Not a single one has been a woman. Actually, in the U.S., women didn't get the right to vote until 1920. So women have only had the right to vote in the U.S. for 100 years, and we've been around about 250 years. So there's problems in the U.S. too. Women face negative stereotypes. We've talked about some of those. This will be relevant to you all, and it's relevant to me. Women face more difficult choices in terms of having a career and having a family. Women still have to give birth. Women still are held more responsible for raising their children than men are. And in the U.S., you have some women staying home and raising their children, and some women pursuing their careers and maybe not staying home with their kids. And actually, both groups, they don't like the other group. The group that stays home with their kids say, oh, those women who are working, they don't care about their kids, they don't care about their families, they're selfish. They say that about the women who are working. And then the women who are working say no, I do care about my kids, but I want a career, and I want financial independence, and I want to be a role model for my kids. And actually, women who have careers, they feel like bad moms. They feel like they can never do it all, that they can't do it all. That when they're at work, they should be with their kids. And when they're with their kids, they should be doing something for their work. And it's really hard, right? And then there's a lack of support. I'll talk about the U.S. because I think you all understand what's going on in Nepal. In the U.S., still women, even if they work the full day, still they come home and have more work to do at home. They're still responsible for more household chores. Yeah, maybe their husbands help. Probably more in Nepal. They help more than men in Nepal. Like men do cook in the U.S., men do clean in the U.S., but not, men do, they like don't care as much. Like they don't care as much that it's clean. So like, it seems like it always becomes the woman's job somehow. They do more, right? But they're still working in their careers, and then they're still in charge of more at home. Well, how the heck can you be good at your career if when you go home you have so much work to do at home too? You can't. Or it's very hard. You can't do it all. It's very hard, very hard. Makes me scared actually. What's important to you? So, you all have it more difficult than men. All of you. You have harder decisions that you have to make. It is fine if you want to be a mother and you want that to be a huge source of meaning in your life. And that you don't want to work. That's the norm here in Nepal. And that is fine. That is a good choice if it's your choice and the one you want. It is also fine if you want to work. If you work, you have financial independence, which gives you some power. That if things aren't right, one thing my mom regrets because she doesn't work is she's like, like things have worked out for me, like me and your dad, we're still together after 30 plus years, 33 years, I don't know, long time, but she's like, I wish that I had financial independence. I don't like, your father has more power because he brings home money and I don't. And she's like, I don't always feel like my work was as valued, raising you girls, me and my sister. She didn't always feel like that, I mean, they have a good relationship, but she did think it was important that women had some financial independence. Something to think about. It's important to know what you want. You can make any choice you want. You can stay home, that could be your choice. You could work part-time. It's just not fair that men don't have like the same difficult choice to make. I think. I'm really frustrated by it. Okay. So now I'll talk about me a little bit. We're almost at the end. The most important career choice you'll make is who you marry. Sheryl Sandberg. Do you know who Sheryl Sandberg is? COO at Facebook. She's a really powerful kind of career woman. She went to Harvard. She thinks that who you marry is really important for whether or not you can have a good career or not. What expectations are there for you at home? Will they support you in your career? Will they encourage you? Will they take care of the children when you have a big project that you need to do for work? As someone, so you know her career is really important to her. Maybe this isn't as important to you if your career isn't important. But if it is, knowing that who you marry is a career decision is useful information. I'll tell you what I would like. Pretty is the new strong. Or strong is the new pretty. Simple. I want to have a meaningful career. That's really important to me. If I have children, I want my daughters to see a role model as someone of a woman who had a career. I want to make decisions that aren't based on my fears, but on life goals. I know I have fears. I have a lot of fears. I don't want my decisions in life to be determined by my fears. I want to be a role model to women. I want to be at the table, making this important decisions. Because if women's voices are heard, it's better for women, it's better for everyone. And So I see myself in that role. I also want to have a loving marriage where my spouse helps raise the children and looks after the household. That's important to me. I'm not going to marry someone who I think won't do that. Maybe my expectations are too high. I don't think so. I think I can find this person. Questions? Questions? Comments? Do you have any questions for me about my life? Any questions about, any comments like what you said isn't true for me or true in Nepal? That's not true. It's different here, which it is. Or anything you want to share, like, okay, because of this talk, I'm going to do this. Do you, you know why I'm giving this talk? Information is power. If you know, okay, give me a couple more minutes. Information is power. If you have this information, you are empowered to make different choices. You can choose to push yourself in things that make you feel uncomfortable. When you're aware of something, you can make different decisions because of it. But you have to decide it's important for you. Me giving this talk doesn't change anything. If you want it to be different, you have to make a conscious choice every day. Okay, I'm going to raise my hand even though it makes me nervous. I'm going to do this even though it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm going to push myself and take this risk even though I don't want to. But you all have to make that decision for yourself. This talk doesn't do that. This talk just makes you aware. I tried to show some decisions I made. I tried to show some failures I went through or some mistakes I made. Some decisions I make differently. I tried to show you when I felt strong and when I didn't. Maybe some situations are similar for you. Maybe. Any comments, questions, anything? Did you like it?
Yes.
Why did you like it? Okay, it's all about women's empowerment. Why else? It inspired you? Really?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Good. You know, I've said this to some people, including Prashana, and I told Prashana, you know, you're the perfect candidate, except you're not a woman. I really want a woman in charge of this center, but I think he'll do a good job, and I've told him that. And actually he agreed on us, he's like, yes. But, like, here's the thing, there's one more thing. Part of my role, I feel like being here, has been to show you what women's leadership can look like. And I hope I've done that. But the problem is I'm not Nepali. So I think I have demonstrated women's leadership. That's a good thing. But still you're like, but she's different. She's other. She's from the US. I am. I'm like, what's so important is that you see people like you in leadership roles. And for too long in both